Today we're going to cover an important topic about the appropriateness of flirting. Many people, having lived a whole life, have not understood the main criteria of proper communication and do not understand why in their lives there is no companion or a good friend with whom you can talk to heart, because they do not know how to build a dialogue correctly. Men, listen carefully, and take into account each of our words about flirting that would know how to correctly and most importantly with ease, to interest girls. More facts and important tips, you can see in this section about girls. When meeting someone attractive in a cafe, at work or at friends' homes, we often hope that a conversation will easily start between us and that the spark will flare up. In reality, this happens quite rarely, because not everyone knows how to initiate communication and flirt. Fortunately, these skills can be learned. For example, by studying the answers of researchers to the most popular questions about flirting. How is it better to flirt, discreetly or more explicitly? As one of the studies showed, flirting goes unnoticed by its addressee in about 70% of cases. And especially bad in this sense is the case with men. The fact that men are trying to show their interest, women understand only in 18% of cases. Perhaps this is due to the fact that men do it too veiled, because they are afraid of rejection and try to protect their vulnerable ego. But then what is the point if the object of your attention does not even suspect that you are flirting with him? You should still step out of your comfort zone a little and behave more openly. You ask me, are there different styles of flirting? Yes, and there are quite a few. Researchers from the university have identified 5 main styles of flirting. Playful, it turns communication into a game, suitable for finding a short-term relationship. Polite, it implies discretion and prudence. Honest, it means open actions without concealment. Physical, body language plays a major role. And 5 style is based on gender roles, when a man behaves assertively, and a woman, as modestly as possible. A combination of playfulness, openness of intentions and active use of body language promises maximum success. What are the best flirting tactics? As researchers have found, there is a single most effective flirting tactics that works equally well with men and women. It is very simple and consists of the following: it is necessary to laugh at his or her jokes. Then success is assured to you. As for the differences between female and male flirting, it is useful for women to use light physical contact, for example, lightly touch the hand of the object of his attention. In this case, do not overdo it, and too much humor can create the impression that your intentions are not romantic, but friendly. Men are able to charm a woman with the same humor, compliments and good conversation. What facial expression best signals a man to flirt? The head is tilted sideways and slightly forward, the gaze is straight, on the lips wanders a light, not too wide, but not too inconspicuous smile. 77% of men perceive this expression of a woman's face correctly, guessing that it is flirting and not something else, the results of one of the studies showed. This is a tip you should keep in mind every time you flirt. So, what is the best way to behave if flirting worked and a conversation started between you? The greatest success awaits those who know how to listen well, research says. To increase your attractiveness in the eyes of another, you need to demonstrate an active and sincere interest in what he states. You should be facing him or her, maintain eye-to-eye contact, nod in time, try to reflect their facial expressions, changing expression of the interlocutor, ask questions, state your opinion. The secret of good flirting is that it immediately starts the second a man starts talking to a woman alone. Confusion happens to those who started the conversation and only at the 5th, 10th, 20th minute only realized that it was flirting. Realized and it began, the words are confused, the voice disappears, in the head, a lot of nonsense. On the other hand, women often wonder, why won't he talk to me? He likes me. I know he does. Because in this case, the man is 100% sure that by starting a conversation, he will start the process of flirting and is afraid to make a mistake in this process. Foolish women in this case less it on the conversation themselves, but the wise will wait for that magic moment when the man will make the first step towards, so that later there was something to tell the children and grandchildren. A smart man will never come to visit a friend, knowing that his wife is home alone, because he realizes that talking to a woman alone is always flirting. A woman, in turn, will not always think so. She may respond with friendliness and hospitality by virtue of her feminine, soft and hospitable nature. Men, above all, should realize this and behave accordingly. For behavior with a woman alone, a man is primarily responsible. And, sometimes, the fear of flirting is subject to the one who understands and accepts this responsibility to the end. But it would be necessary to overcome this fear. The best way is to talk to unfamiliar and not attractive women in the environment, such as fellow travelers on the road, cashiers in the store. You can start a conversation knowing that in a couple of hours you will part forever and nothing will connect you anymore, and you can meet your destiny. For many men, the main purpose of flirting is to find the perfect woman, the dream. It generates the very hope that can convince a woman to give it a chance. However, this doesn't mean that you should surround flirting with romance. Flirting, it is not yet a date, it is just a conversation, and treat it as a conversation and nothing more. A typical mistake will be excessive admiration and excessive compliments. This is more like ingratiation, and in this case, the main interlocutor is a man who as if implies that the woman is not worthy of him. Women don't want to date those who look down on them, but want to date those who flirt as equals. For a woman, in this sense moral or unsophisticated, it may be a threat, and she will immediately push away such a flirt, considering him a horny maniac, for an open sexual relationship is something temporary and not serious. In particular, premature touching should be avoided. This is a really bad idea. While touching can communicate attraction, touching someone who doesn't expect it or want it simply communicates an inability to understand boundaries or recognize social priorities. The fact that a man allows himself or pats his woman, even in the presence of friends, suggests that he doesn't respect her, no matter how hard he tries to prove to her that he loves her. And even when flirting, where the relationship is still out of the question, such behavior is all the more unacceptable for someone who is looking for a companion for life. Like it or not, most dating nowadays happens digitally. People meet, flirt, fall in love, talk, feud and break up through phone gadgets. There is no indication that this trend is going to disappear. And while online dating can help people find each other, it is also the source of a whole new set of problems when it comes to flirting. One of the main reasons why people find it difficult to socialize in real life is because they are obsessed with their cybersocial lives. A real relationship will begin when two people stop using the phone as a prop and emphasize real communication. Often men use social media for marketing, and by giving a woman a page, he makes her a customer, and she loses interest in him as a woman. An important aspect of flirting well with a woman is lowering expectations. Ambition is useful in life and in work, even in relationships, but when flirting they can play a cruel joke on you. Any flirting is attractive for its ease in everything and only a way to create a connection, rather than about something specific. Do not immediately life-affirming declare the intention to build a house, plant a tree and raise 5 sons. Women already understand these primary tasks. It is also not worth declaring that if there was one who would agree, I would do everything possible for her. This is that demanding, which obliges a woman to reciprocate. It's just flirting, it's not even the beginning of a relationship, so make it easy, no anything not binding. Sometimes even eye contact and a smile are enough for a successful flirtation. Flirting can be the most fabulous part of your first interaction. Extend it, take your time, savor this moment. Let your interest in a woman settle in her mind, give her time to daydream alone with her thoughts before you ask her out on a first date. Men, be relaxed. Yes, we know she's your dream girl and you're nervous around her, but she's not a monster that's going to devour you. So what's there to be nervous and worried about? Relax and just talk to her like you're chatting with a long-lost friend. She'll feel comfortable too. Trust us. You can start a friendly conversation right away. Conversation is the key to success in flirting. If you are a good conversationalist, half of your work is already done. A good conversation always impresses a girl. If you can find a common topic to talk about, such as movies, books, or even college curriculum, then great. Men, show your interest in her, but to the right degree and don't be nosy. Some guys end up making the worst flirting mistake by inviting a girl about her past relationships. Before you start flirting, our top tip: never ask a girl about her age, weight, or ex-boyfriends. You can flirt with her in person or flirt in text messages, talking about yourself only when she asks you about it too. As we said earlier, bragging is strictly forbidden. It is the worst flirting mistake you can make. If you are looking for the best flirting techniques, the most important thing is to learn how to take a step back and let her be the center of attention. For this, she will be attracted to you. There is no end game, you either successfully pursue this person or you don't. You don't have a lot of time, so flirt with him wisely. Look for opportunities and definitely avoid such actions. It won't take away your man badge if you don't succeed in flirting. It's just part of your training. Always remember to stop flirting if you feel the other person is uncomfortable. Learn to recognize the cues.